What's up, guys? It's Bite here with the Horror Bite channel, and welcome back to a video. I don't know what I'm welcoming you back to because this is only the second video, but welcome back anyways. I wanted to take a dive into a custom difficulty I have been working with for a while now on Phasmophobia. If you're new to the game, if you enjoy playing intermediate or amateur, this is a custom difficulty that I would highly recommend to you because it builds on the levels of intermediate, amateur, and even professional, but then takes it a step further to increase your rewards to that of playing on Nightmare mode. So, without really taking away from most of the feeling of those other difficulties. And if that's something you'd be interested in, especially when it comes to leveling up, which, as you can see here, I'm only level 2 overall, but I'm trying to get on to that level grind, and this is a great way to go through it while still having the intended Phasmo experience. I also think it's a great way for you to learn about the different ghost abilities, because you have the option to still get 3 evidence with the ghost, but at the same time, use your deductive reasoning once you have 2 of the evidence to treat it like Nightmare, guess the ghost based on their ability, and then confirm it once you have that 3rd piece of evidence. I've done it plenty of times. It's helped me to get to know the inner workings of each of the ghosts much better than I have on my own. So I'm going to go break it down for you guys. We're going to run a game with it and see how it does. And if it's something you're interested in, or if you'd like to see more of these custom difficulties, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. Consider leaving a subscribe. But with that, let's take a look at this custom difficulty. Alright, so it's honestly pretty straightforward, very simple. You start with 100 sanity like all the other modes. Sanity pills give you 20% restoration, which I think is a little less than some of the other difficulties, but in all honesty, 20% is more than enough for the length of these games. Usually I have games that run around 10 minutes, and each time I come out usually with $900 to $1,400 on average. And that's not including the daily bonus, that's not including any objectives, that's just the money I get from guessing the ghost and getting a little bit of media, not doing perfect games. If you go for perfect games, it'll take you longer, but you can get up to $2,000 with this difficulty. When it comes to the player, you also have twice the sanity drain speed, which I know sounds scary, but I'm going to show you guys a very simple trick that will negate the sanity drain speed. Sprinting is on, it's nice, it's convenient, I like being able to move fast. We move at our normal speed, we have our flashlights, and of course, we do lose our items on dying, because if we don't, then, we kind of don't get any rewards. When it comes to the ghost, very simple. The ghost is normal, but it can roam around pretty frequently. It can change its room a lot, and it doesn't really do much. It doesn't do many events or activity, which can be a pain in the butt when it comes to trying to get any sort of media. But from my experience, the ghost does still seem to be pretty active, and you can always crank this up to still be above 3 times reward multiplier, so it's kind of like a little more pro version of professional. But for me, I want to get that 4 times multiplier, so I leave those on low. Friendly ghosts, obviously going to be off. Grace period is 2 seconds for the hunt. If you want to be crazy and turn it down to 1 second, you can, but I personally recommend 2 seconds as a good gateway point to kind of transition yourself from the more lenient sections of like professional, amateur, intermediate. Hunt duration is going to be high. You do get those 3 pieces of evidence. Fingerprints are always going to be guaranteed, but the fingerprints will only last for 15 seconds. And the reason I do this is because it sets up for a very easy salt test. Now, you may be wondering, what about the Obake? The Obake is the only ghost that can occasionally hide the fingerprints, so still be mindful of that. But when it comes to any of the other ghosts, salt test with UV is a guaranteed way to rule out UV, which is very useful since we do get the 3 evidence. Ruling out evidence helps us identify the ghost faster. And last but not least, this is my contract settings. Again, feel free to modify this however you like, but this is just what I run currently. I don't have a setup time, going for that professional vibe. I choose the fog for the weather because I personally find it makes the map a lot brighter and easier to see on usually, but you can change that to heavy rain if you want a little bit more of a reward, but it's only like 4.09 then instead of 4.05. All the doors, or most of the doors will be open, but that's not a big deal because we're not going to be using doors opening to find the ghost. We do get the sanity monitor, but we won't have the activity monitor. Personally, I never use the activity monitor, but the sanity monitor can be useful, especially when it comes to trying to figure out some of those unique workings of the ghost and predicting when you're going to get hunted. We start with the fuse box on. That's very important, and that helps negate the effects of the sanity drain speed, because we're going to turn all the lights on the second we get into the map. Whenever you're in light, if you didn't know, you don't lose your sanity. So as long as you're standing in a lit room, your sanity does not drain. It's only when you're in the dark. That's why having a fuse box on at the start of the contract is very important. You turn on the lights on when you get into the house, and your sanity will not drain. And cursed possessions, I leave them on. It's random, but you could choose a certain one if you want to speed it up. Maybe do the mirror so you can find a ghost room easier, or do none if you want a little extra reward. Again, completely up to you. But with all of that said, we're going to go to my personal favorite map for this, Tanglewood. You can do any of the house maps or any of the other maps, but I personally like Tanglewood because it's nice, it's small, and very easy to find a ghost. So let's roll right into it. Alright, so we're in, as you can see, it's Phasmophobia. You know, we just don't have the activity monitor. Not a big deal there. But if you want, you could check your objectives. Personally, I don't tend to go for them. If I get them in the process of doing it, great. What I like to run is a thermometer, EMF, and spirit box, because my goal is just to do these games fast. I want to find a ghost, try to rule out as much evidence as I can, as fast as I can, and if you want, you could grab your tier 2 headset so you could get a little bit of light as you're walking in. But personally, these are the 3 things I use to help me find a ghost and check that activity. And again, you walk in, turn those lights on immediately so you do not lose the sanity. The nice thing about the thermometer is it helps you find a ghost room, obviously, but it can take a little bit of time still for the ghost room to get cold. Even though we start with the fuse box on, the ghost still needs to chill it a little bit because we did just get here. But that's where the secret second item, our EMF reader, comes into play. I'm listening. I think I just heard something off to the right, so I'm going to run this way, and hopefully my EMF reader will pick up any activity the ghost is doing. I don't seem to be picking anything up, so maybe the ghost isn't over here, but my goal is to listen for items getting thrown, check it with the EMF, and that'll help me pinpoint where the ghost room is as well. And if I don't have anything with that, then I just give it a few seconds and check everything with the thermometer. I'm just going to run through all the rooms now, see if I can find a ghost, and maybe I'll speed this part up. But, look at that. And we're already down to 15. Good chance the ghost is going to be in here, because if you notice, all the other rooms start in 20. So I'm just going to leave the EMF on, so in case it does anything. And the reason I get the spirit box is because I can immediately start testing to see if the ghost is in the room, and if it gives spirit box as a response. So we're just going to try testing it out. Are you here? Are you close? Where are you? Just like that, we got a piece of evidence. We know it's going to be spirit box, and I just got a confirmation with the EMF reader that the ghost is indeed in this room. So I'm going to turn the light on so I don't lose my sanity while in there. Again, try to keep the lights on as much as you can. Oh, look at that, we got a mirror. Perfect. Try to keep the lights on as much as you can to reduce that sanity drain since it is at 200%. But when you're in the ghost room in particular, sometimes you're going to want to have that light off. That way, you get more activity going on. For my second round, I think I'm going to grab a book, dots, and a camera. I like to get these items going because I find a book can take a while for the ghost to interact with it, especially if you have like a tier 1 or tier 2 book, because the range on it is just not that good. Dots, I could have switched this out for anything else, but usually I do dots because when I go for EMF, oh, and look at that, we have an EMF 5. Just like that, I got 2 pieces of evidence down, so I'm going to set up my dots projector, place down a book. I like putting on the ceiling since I have tier 3. We're also going to just check for any Orbeez with the camera, because you never know. It's good to get that ruled out early on. I don't see anything. Personally, I like to check nearby rooms as well. Just the adjacent ones, because you never know, maybe the ghost is slightly over, especially since we do have that high roaming frequency going on. But I don't see Orbeez, so I'm going to stand here for a second. Let's go through our evidence. We know we got a spirit box. We know that we got EMF 5, so that already brings it down to just these ghosts. Usually in this case, if I have a Banshee or Diane, I check. Our ghost name is Michael. It's not a girl, so it can't be a Diane. It also can't be a Banshee. Those are the only 2 ghosts right now that can be girls. They're girl only. Every other ghost could be a girl or boy, so can't rule them out yet. I know I didn't see Orb, so I'm going to cross that out, and that just took out, I think, the Diane, which we already knew it couldn't be. So that leaves all of these guys. Wraith. Oh, hello there. A Wraith can't go through salt. Twins will kind of be pinpoint activity all over the place. Spirit, just kind of a ghost. And then the Galu is going to be switching between states of aggressiveness and calmness. All different things that you're like, maybe wondering to yourself, how the heck am I going to learn these? The more you play this mode, this difficulty, the more you experience each ghost unique abilities, the easier it gets. I'm gonna grab UV stick. I personally prefer UV stick tier 2 over tier 3 UV because I like the glow stick a lot more. We're going to do some salt, and I'm going to grab a camera, check my sanity. We're at 91, so since it's not a demon, we're in the clear zone when it comes to hunts. The Galu can hunt early if it's in an aggressive mode. I believe it's 65% it could hunt at, but right now 90% is more than enough. And you notice, even though I do have that faster drain, because I've been leaving on my lights everywhere I go, I don't really have to worry about... Oh, hi there. Look at that. And now I just got a photo. Perfect. Alright. So, usually whenever I'm playing... Oh, we're gonna check that, remember? Footsteps, right there. They're only gonna last for 15 seconds, so we gotta move fast on them. Boom, got a picture. And if I just stand here, give it... Yep, they're already disappearing. So, they disappear fast. That's why I like doing the salt test, because you place salt, you place a glow stick, and then boom, they're right on top of each other. You can see right away, is it UV, is it not? Since it is, we're gonna circle it. We got a Galu. If it wasn't, I would have ruled it out, and that would have left me down just a few more ghosts. But since I know we got a Galu, I can start doing some more stuff. If I want to try forcing a hunt using a cursed object, or if I want to try an experiment and get a feel for what its ability is like, what it's like during hunts, that's a great time to do it now. But at this point, I'm content. I'm just gonna go try and get a little bit more media to kind of bump up the amount of money I'm gonna make back. But this has been a pretty quick game, so I think my goal at this point is gonna be grab those few last things, scooch on out of here. We'll try and grab the sound recorder, see if I could get a recording or two, but if not, no biggies. We'll dip on out and call it a wrap there. So let's just run back in and see how it goes. Alright, and in case you don't know, the best spot to loop on this map, if you're upstairs, is around a dining room table. It's a really good looping spot. A little tricky, but personally, in my opinion, a great way to learn looping. Or if you're in a basement with a basement ghost, you can loop around this table as well. Both are good looping spots, good ways to practice looping. Can I get that sound recording, please? I know that I can get that sound recording. Okay, so for whatever reason, my game has just been bugged indefinitely. We're gonna place a crucifix here, and then remember, since ghosts can roam a good amount, I just like placing one a little further away from the ghost room, just in case. Alright, but last but not least, let's just grab our spirit box. Are you here? Are you close? He's mango mad, guys. He's mango mad. I'm sorry, could you say that again on the spirit box for me? That would be so kind. Where are you?
Exactly.
Thank
Behind.
you. I'm good. I'm not. You don't have to be behind me, bro. But you know what? With that, Michael, my friend, you've been a great ghost. It's been an honor to visit you, but I am gonna dip on out. That was a great hunt, a great demonstration of just how fun this difficulty is to play. We're gonna get nightmare level rewards. Make sure you have the ghost circled. I've done that all too many times. All that, we only lost 20% sanity. We figured out the ghost and got a decent amount of media. Not a crazy amount, but a decent. And let's just take a look. It's a Galu, 1300. And yes, I did get my 2 dailies in there, so if you take out the 150, it comes out to 1210, 1214 roughly, which still crazy amount of money for what was ultimately a 8-minute game, of which the last 2 minutes were me just kind of, maybe a minute, be generous, was me just trying to get media. So if you want to up the amount of rewards you get back, start pushing yourself forward in Phasmo without leaving a comfort zone of like intermediate or professional too much, I personally think that this custom difficulty is a great way to get started. This is your player, this is your ghost, and this is your contract. But with that, guys, my name is Bite, here with the Horror Bite channel. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a subscribe. If you'd like to see more of these custom difficulties, leave it in the comment section down below. I have a ×5, 3 evidence if you want to see that. But I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye!